So there is one meta skill that is essential for self-leadership. And a meta skill is different than a skill in that your skill is your ability to do something. It's your expertise in a particular area. So for instance, you may have the skill of speaking Spanish. Habla español? But the meta skill underneath that skill is your ability to learn a new language. And that's a permanent part of you that enables you to continually level up and to achieve things. And so when it comes to self-leadership and managing your mind and your emotions and thus your actions, which of course affect your performance, both personally and professionally, there is one mother meta skill of all. And that meta skill is your ability to be present in the moment. Now, I know that the idea of being present in the moment has been talked about a lot, and I want to share with you a story that I think helps illuminate the power of the present moment. So I'm going to share with you, 25, maybe 30 years ago, I was in a class. I wanted to become a minister in the Unity Church, and we were studying this book, The Power of Now. I think it's backwards here, but it's The Power of Now, and it's by 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐿. And, excuse me, the presenter was Donna, and she was talking about how understanding this present moment really is the gateway to spiritual enlightenment and to fulfillment. And I was eating it up. And I distinctly remember this one woman, she's about 3 rows in, raising her hand and saying, okay, I get it. I understand that this is a spiritual class and that this is the gateway to really feeling good. And my husband is in the hospital. He is really sick. We don't know if he's going to make it. And my business is flailing. I've got financial issues. And on top of that, I have these issues with my children. And so Donna, in her beautiful way, received what the woman was saying, reflected back to her, and then she asked her, and what is wrong right now? And the woman was like, did you hear me? Let me tell you again about my husband and my business and my children. And again, Donna took the time to receive her and then ended with the question, and what is wrong right now? And this went back and forth, and you really could start to feel the energy in the room change a little bit. I was looking at the person sitting next to me, and we were like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And what ended up happening is that Donna kept asking that question, what is wrong right now? And eventually, the woman said, my nose is running. And Donna said, can somebody go get her a tissue? I was like, oh, that's what the power of now is. And it really illustrated for me how much time, how many thoughts we spend worried about what has happened, worried about what is going to happen, instead of being present. And when we talk about self-leadership, we talk about being present mentally, emotionally, and physically. And if you haven't already, I invite you to go back and look at the meditation that I've shared with you all. And it is a practice of being present to yourself in the moment, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And the reason that this is the mother skill of self-leadership is because we cannot change our behaviors for the long term if we aren't aware of the driver, of the actions, of what we are thinking, how we are feeling, all of those precursors to our action. And when we bother to be present to ourselves, then we have access to this amazing information that otherwise we are kind of just shooing away and not paying attention to. And the only way that we can be aware of those drivers is if we are present to them, if we are paying attention to them. And the best way to hone the skill of tuning into yourself is to practice it, to make that skill a meta skill. And you do it so often that you're like, okay, this is what I do. And this is what I do in terms of paying attention to myself and whether I'm hungry or not, or what my urges feel like, or whether I'm listening. And it is also the skill that we can translate to our external environment, into our meetings, into the people that we are present with, and to the people that we are leading, so that we can be attentive to what is going on in the external environment while simultaneously being attentive to what is happening in the internal environment. And that is leadership and self-leadership. And that is why being present to the power of now is the mother of all meta skills.